Let me guess. You show up for your team, you show up for your family, you show up for everyone. You wake up in the morning, you're reading your emails right out of the way, you've got a business to run, you have bills to pay, a to-do list that never ends. To most people, you look fine, productive, maybe even successful. But deep down, you are exhausted beyond belief. Not just tired. I'm talking about soul tired. You feel like you're doing everything for everyone, and yet somehow you're disconnected from yourself, from your peace, from your purpose, from God. You're showing up, but you're not leading. You're surviving. I've been there. And that's what today's episode is about. How I finally broke out of a survival mode by starting one habit. Not a hustle back, not a productivity tip, but a simple faith routine at 4 a.m. that reset everything for me from the inside out. So guys, this week, I really want to reconnect with not just having a morning routine, but also a routine that will allow you to set yourself up for success in the morning. Otherwise, we're grabbing our phone before our feet even hit the ground out of bed, and we're already stressed. It doesn't work. You have to be able to connect for yourself and have peace. So let's get into it, guys. So, my story, just a little bit of background and why we're talking about this. I've been working all my life. I work 9 to 5. I work corporate America. I've had side hustles, entrepreneur. But the one thing that I never had was a morning routine with God through faith, to where when my feet hit the ground, the first thing I'm saying is I'm thankful that I woke up, because every single day there's hundreds of thousands of people across this country that had plans to start today but didn't wake up. So I am thankful for that. I woke up anxious. I woke up reactive. I was worn out before the day even started. I hit the ground running, my phone in my hand, inbox exploding, already chasing the day like I owned nothing at all. The day owned me. But here's the truth. I wasn't leading my business. I was following the chaos. And I wasn't leading my family. I wasn't leading my loved ones. I was letting the day and the noise dictate who I was going to be for the day. I wasn't rooted. I wasn't still, being quiet, listening to God. And I definitely wasn't hearing him at all. And I knew better, but I continued to go down this path because the noise was louder than my faith. What survival mode did to me was tricked me into believing that the movement that I was doing every single day equaled progress. But deep down, I felt like I was unraveling. I was losing it. I was full of anxiety. I could feel how I spoke to people, how I made decisions, and how I stopped dreaming and just started doing whatever was urgent. As I say, whatever's bleeding the most. And the thing that really got me was when I had a very short fuse. And I'm not talking about temper. I'm talking about patience for other people that were struggling. I didn't want to hear their problems. I didn't want to sit there and support them. And I knew I was in a very bad place. So one morning, I woke up early, and I don't know what time it was because this has been a while. Not because I wanted to. I was just done. I couldn't sleep. I'd been waking up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I wanted to live a life of freedom, peace, purpose, wisdom. So I got out of bed before all the notifications on my phone started going off. It was in sleep mode, or do not disturb mode, I should say, before the noise, and I sat in silence. I know we talked a little bit about this last week, but I want to go into more depth here. Let's say you're negotiating or you're having a discussion back and forth, or maybe even a disagreement. When you have that awkward moment where it feels like 5 minutes where you guys are both not talking, that pause is where you can soak it all in and really understand what that other person is thinking or trying to do. You are also potentially connecting to faith, God, because you're getting direction. That's how I felt. But I did this. I asked the one question, and I posed this last week on the podcast. God, what do you want me to do today? Not what should I do? Not how do I fix everything? What do you want me to do today? And in that, a subsection is, who do you want me to be? What's my calling? Where am I going with this? Where am I going with life? Because for a very long time, I was starting my day just to perform, just to be able to get going and say that I'm hustling. Hustling doesn't always get you there. Don't get me wrong. Consistency and being persistent, yes. But you've got to have peace for yourself in all this matter. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And when you start your day out from a position of peace, it's game-changing. It's life-altering. This truly became my habit every single day. And I can tell you, for the first several weeks, if not longer, this was a struggle for me to wake up and not grab my phone and my feet hit the ground. I felt like the world was coming in on me and closing in on me, almost like I was over anxious that I was missing out on something. But every day, waking up at 4 a.m., no phone, no agenda, just time with God, peace, quiet, nothing else, other than my dog Moose, of course. He's hanging out with me. Sometimes I journal. Sometimes I read scripture. Sometimes I just sat there and absolutely did nothing other than chill out and listen and be quiet. But every time I remembered who I was. I stopped leading out of panic, and I started leading out of being present. That is a big win here, guys. Leading from being present here, now, not worrying about tomorrow, not thinking about what happened yesterday, right here, right now. How can you solve problems if you're not fully present to the now? And here's some of the things that changed for me. I was able to make better decisions. I was able to lead with clarity through my team on the lending side, being able to communicate more effectively with people within our real estate business. I responded to problems instead of reacting to them. I stopped trying to be everything to everyone, and I started being who God called me to be. This wasn't about building a better schedule. This was about building a stronger spirit. And guys, I know we've gone deep with faith, but let me ask you this. What can you do differently to get yourself in a place of peace, purpose, and wisdom to where you feel like you have a life that you truly love and want to be in, and not constantly under stress and anxiety? So maybe you don't believe in God. Great. We're not talking religion here. We're talking God and faith. Religions were made by human beings, which have a lot of issues. Comes from reading, connecting. But here is the piece that I ask you guys, and we'll go on to the next section here, is this. If you're struggling, what does it hurt to try this routine to where you disconnect in the morning when your feet hit the ground? Be thankful that you woke up this morning because others didn't. And then start in peace. 5 or 10 minutes. That's all you've got to do. 5 or 10 minutes in peace, quiet, with no distractions. Tell me how that works. Tell me how that helps you think. Maybe you come up with ideas, business ideas, things that you can do better at work, things that you can improve in your marriage, in your relationship with your family. If you are feeling like you're in survival mode, I want to invite you to sit here and pause and think about where your life is at. Not next week, not when things settle down, not tomorrow, today. Today you need to take action. Action is not perfect. Action is always not going to be correct, but it's better than sitting in the anxious world you're in today. You need to find purpose, passion, and wisdom. And by doing this, you're going to. So tomorrow, start waking up 30 minutes early. When your feet hit the ground, do not touch your phone. No phone, no noise, no pressure. Just sit there with one question. God, who do you want me to be today? And just let it resonate and see where it goes. That's it. That's all I'm looking for you to do. Give yourself the gift of silence before the world starts yelling at you. Because leadership, all forms, doesn't start when your clock goes off in the morning or you walk into a room. It starts when your feet hit the ground and you're at peace. It starts before the sun comes up, when no one's watching. It's just you and God. Guys, if this hits home for you, if something is in you, basically spirit-driven you, if your spirit is driving you, it stirred you, it's calling you, I want to hear from you. Share this with someone who's stuck in survival mode, please. Let's lift each other up because we're not built to survive. We're built to lead. And it starts in quiet. Guys, I'm going to end it here, but I want to leave you with this. Yes, I'm talking faith in God, and that's what this channel is going to be around. Entrepreneurship, faith, God, life, happiness. We can even talk a little finances. That's my other podcast, Chasing Financial Freedom. If you want to talk over there or go over there, that's there. But this is about life in finding purpose. We're all out chasing the Joneses, and the Joneses are broke. And because they're out chasing all these things and have no peace, they're full of anxiety. They're worried about what the world thinks of them. How about find your purpose? Find your passion. Find something that makes you so happy you wake up every morning to it. How would that feel? Because that is something we are missing in today's culture. Is we are service-based, we're service-driven, and we're not out helping others. Find the one thing, or multiple things if that's the case, that makes you happy, that stirs your passion, that you are fired up on. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a great 4th of July weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you guys on the other side.